It is Saturday, June 25th. So we're at the end of June here in Arizona, and we actually got some rain this week. We weren't here last night for the rain. We were visiting Austin and Nikki for Father's Day. And so we didn't actually see the rain, but we came back to it. So we didn't have to water the pasture or the sorghum, but we went over and took a peek at the rain gauge. And a couple drops came out. So we couldn't really measure any of it, but
so we didn't get much.
We didn't get a lot, but just to get some moisture, it's you can definitely feel some of the moisture in the air this morning, but it's still bone dry everywhere else. So the regular irrigation is going to go as usual. So I want to thank Bob and Jessica. You guys, it was great meeting you last week. They're customers and now become friends of ours, and they offered up a banana puff to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's take a look at that. It's struggling just a little bit after getting that planted, but what we really wanted to do is we wanted to make sure we got that up against the chicken coop and run, so it's getting shade by early afternoon. And even though it's struggling now, we're hopeful that with some of those roots down there, we're gonna be able to get that in the ground here in another month or so. One of the things that we struggle with here, all of us do, is ground squirrels, and we've tried so many different things to get rid of ground squirrels, and we've finally come to the point where we're just baiting them. We'd rather not do that, but we really don't have a choice. They were digging in where we had our irrigation on our citrus trees, which is a big no-no, and you've had to go back and fill in a lot of holes, and they're definitely taking the bait on those stations.
Yeah.
So they take them back down into the holes. We're not seeing any dead animals, rodents at all on the property, but they're definitely taking the bait. So we're using that in a couple different areas where we're seeing a lot of rodent activity, and we're seeing less and less rodents. So the ducks are getting big, and we need to get them back in their home. We are going to be adding moringa into their pasture area. We think that's going to be a great fodder source for them, and more importantly, some shade. And so we watered those areas this morning, and we will be planting moringa here hopefully soon. We need to get a few seeds in the ground and also get some potted starts, which actually you did, right? So you started some potted ones. But first things first, we need to go and get a bolt through that mulberry tree. You guys were very consistent in suggesting that. So that mulberry tree that's splitting, Lori picked up a bolt from Home Depot yesterday. We're gonna go get that installed. All we did was take a 3/8 inch drill bit. We had a 3/8 inch bolt that Lori got from Home Depot, a couple washers and a nut on the other side. Now we could have gone with a, with a little bit smaller bolt here, but it was our only option. You know how it is these days trying to find supplies. But we just basically took it right at about where the split was occurring, added a bolt in here. That way it doesn't continue to split down into here and continue to split the trunk. We'll come back here in the wintertime, lop it off right down here and let it come back nice and beautiful. Yes, by hand. Have you guys seen the price of gas these days? Pretty excited. We finally have the ducks here in their permanent enclosure. Now, you saw us putting together their actual kind of coop. Now, obviously, ducks don't roost, so they'll pretty much just stay on the ground. However, we did want to go ahead and move some pallets in there just in case we get a drenching storm and they wanted to get up out of the mud. Doubtful, but they could. We'll see how that pans out. I get the feeling they're gonna pretty much just sit on the ground. We are using shade cloth a lot of times for our enclosures here for all of our animals. We've just found that the best thing when you're attaching the shade cloth is actually to use metal zip ties. We've been using them for a few different things, some of our fencing projects, and what we found is while the shade cloth will last anywhere from 1 to 2 up to 3 years, plastic zip ties absolutely do not. So we've pretty much foregone all of the plastic zip ties and we're now using these metal zip ties. Now they come in 100 packs. We've found them on Amazon. They're usually pretty easy to find there. I believe we have them in our Amazon shop as well. But we really have found that those last much longer than the shade cloth does, and we're not picking up plastic pieces all over the place. We did show you installing their temporary pond. Now, we have some plans as far as ponding here on the farm, much more extensive than this. Obviously, these ducks will take them wherever the water goes, but for now, we're designing this space in here so that we will eventually have plenty of shade for them, naturally occurring shade with the moringa. Right now, we're using a little kiddie pool while they're small. That's going to definitely change a little bit as they get bigger, and we have some ideas how we'll be able to utilize that pond water and move it into specific areas on the farm. We'll be sharing that with you later. You'll also see that we're using wood chips around their watering areas. Now, we use wood chips extensively here on the farm. Obviously, when it comes to ducks, they're going to be putting manure and water down into those wood chips. Be pretty cool to be able to take those and use them not only in their enclosure for a little extra fertilizer on these plants, but also we can transplant those out onto the farm as well, and basically taking the fertility that they're giving us and spreading that around the farm. We really want to see how these ducks do in water because they have never gotten a chance at 3 weeks old to actually do a little swimming on their own. So let's see if we can wrestle these guys into that little tiny pond back there. Okay, come on, ducks. Come on, everybody. Come on. Out you go. Out you go. Go ahead. Everybody follow. Had a few visitors today. We had our first farm share pickups today. Thank you guys. It was wonderful meeting all of you guys today. I think we still have a couple more folks that still need to show up to get their packs from us, but it's neat to be able to share with them a little extra that they weren't expecting. Wine grapes are really starting to come along. Yeah. So I got, I think, a pretty good shot of the Syrah grapes. Shiraz, Syrah. I'm not sure how you want to say that, not que Syrah. We also have the lemon cucumbers that are coming along really good, so we got a few more of those. You need to let those go to seed. They've been fantastic. They taste just like a cucumber, not like a lemon, shaped in color similar to a lemon, and they're small, so they're like perfect size for cutting some up and having them with lunch. So I want to definitely grow those again. Next week we have live stream with you guys, so we're looking forward to that.
Right.
Definitely need to join us. It's 4th of July weekend for us here, so Independence Day weekend for us here in the US. But hopefully you guys can join us at 3 p.m. Arizona time next Saturday. Other than that, I think we need to wrap it up for today. So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this newly establishing desert farm, but would love to see you on a regular basis. Any questions or comments, please leave those in the comment section down below. And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That is a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with that link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy, you'll help to support us here. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere,
So can you.
we need to go and shut our damn roosters up. It's funny, I've got a Milwaukee t-shirt on and DeWalt tools. Got that?
Got it. Oh, I got this branch right in my face.
Melon head. You know what holding a melon reminds me of?
Everything's over there.
No, I'm talking about melons. It reminds me of holding melons. I mean, that's like that's a good sized melon right there. Fits in my hand. It's a good sized melon.